Hello! So today I'm here in voiceover form, and in this week's video I'm going to do some prepping for autumn. I have a pile of clothes that needs fixing in some way or another. Some might be size-wise, some are more because I was lazy and I didn't finish them properly, and others just broke. So that's what we're going to do today. This skirt, it fits perfectly, besides that it has two tiny pockets of air that don't make any sense and don't need to be there, so those need to be gone. These trousers that I bought over a year ago with the intention to alter them because I didn't like how balloon shaped the pant legs are. Forgot it until last year. After wearing it a couple of times I was reminded how much I hated the shape of them. Then of course we have my 1940s pair of overalls that, if you watch the video, you know exactly what is wrong with them. Also I show them here. And this dress that I bought a couple of years ago in a kilo sale. I wore them to a vacation, a holiday trip, and when bending over I ripped them, so I need to fix that. Also we have my 1940s pair of jeans that I made in a very recent video. I believe it was last video. You know that I fixed them quite quickly with two darts, so I need to redo that. So I took out the darts, I ripped out the back seam, and then I pinned them on my body in the way that they were supposed to fit, you know, and continue pinning every item that needed to be pinning. Starting off with the balloon trousers, I looked at them and decided it would be very complicated to pin them on my body, so I laid them on the table. Skirt might be the easiest one. That was just pinning them in the shape of my body. And obviously the dress, I pinned them, but then with some extra width, you know, to hopefully prevent the ripping in the future. I took out the zipper only halfway, and then I repinned them in the hopes that it would fix it. It did not. You will see in the end result what did help. Then I went on to sew everything. I think that's very self-explanatory. So enjoy the little montage of me sewing. And then I went on to a very exciting project, but that also kind of failed and then fixed again. I will take you along with the process. So these shoes are my mum's, well, used to be my mum's. She doesn't wear them, and they don't fit with any clothes I have, so that's why I decided to paint them. So collect every single colour you have, even though you're not going to use every colour, and you know you don't need to use every colour, but you do it anyway. Then paint them white. They needed 3 coatings. This is the part, but still did well. But then we went on to the actual design process. Well, the picture I had in my mind, I just blobbed on some colours and the more I went on with it, the more I hated it. At first it was like a Christmas color, and then it was just very messy. Then I tried to fix it with some water in hopes that it would be less harsh, but it made it look messy. And then I started rubbing it off, but then I took more off than I intended, so I went back in with the white, even though I didn't have much white. So I hoped it was a look, but it was not. So I left them to dry fully, and in hopes that I would come up with a clever idea to fix them. And instead I went and tried to redecorate my house, which is a very difficult thing to do when you live in a tiny house, since there's not much space and most furniture are in a spot that they can't get out of. And my couch can move, but if I do so, then you see the havoc that my bunny brought to my curtain, so that's not an idea. So I tried to rearrange stuff on my stairs. These are my stairs. And it didn't really change much at all. This is the end result, also the end result of the dress. I forgot to look at the background because I didn't realize my bathroom door was open and my rack was still there. Anyways, I did look on Pinterest and I saw something and I thought, yes, that's what I'm going to do. So without further planning, I just went for it. I mixed some color and then I got my makeup spongy thing that I never use because I don't know how to, and started bobbing it up. And I must say, it immediately looked a whole lot better than it did before. But it needed to dry, so I went in back, trying to rearrange stuff on my wall. And once they are dry enough to put another coating on, I started drawing on them. Basically, it's these like dreamy kind of landscape, night landscape. Just very simple, some trees. And I must say that even though this was not at all what I planned, and don't mind the mess, I didn't tape anything off, which I know if I would do it properly I would have, but no. So the paint is literally everywhere. I was also literally everywhere on my body. There's still some paint stains that I can't get off my legs, but will fade eventually, right? So yeah, but it's definitely different than the original plan. It was a lot more abstract, and this is slightly less abstract, although not quite realistic either. But I like them. I think they are a whole lot more cool than the original plan, and I like moons, so I drew on some moons. I'm not certain if they would have the same, because I wanted more white shoes. That was my plan, because I had ideas in my head for outfits. I don't know if they still work, but we are gonna find out. And while those are drying, I cleaned up this area. It's one of those areas that every little piece of stuff that I need to get out of my hands ends up there, so there are always piles of shit. I also have a corner in my kitchen that has the same purpose, so I decided to clean that up. I wanted to rearrange stuff, but I ended up just basically putting them in the same spot, sort of. It is my plant corner. So this is the end result. They are awesome, right? They are awesome. The shoes are awesome. The pants, however, which is like the balloon pants, I'm still not certain about it. I might have to style them in a different way, because I now feel like very frumpy. There's something about them that I don't like in this outfit. So perhaps I just have to try a little harder. The skirt, however, yeah, it fits perfectly. Also, there was not much going on to be able to fuck up, so that's good. They're very comfortable, so I know I will wear them a lot this winter. I styled them with some red Dr. Martens and a yellow tee, because why not? Looking back at this, I also realized I really need a haircut. It's very messy and the fringe doesn't do at all what I want, but soon I will go. And then these 1940s trousers, I didn't fix them by the zipper. And I took the zipper in and it still did the thing. So I ended up just folding it in, and I noticed that the fold just blended in very nicely with the rest of the pleats. And then the jeans, I love them. I'm obsessed about them. They're comfortable, at least for a pair of jeans, they're very comfortable. And I think they're cool. I think I will wear them a lot. It was a good decision to make them out of a pair of overalls. So that was this week's video. I won't do any promises on next week's video because there might not be a next week's video. Like, this one took a little longer than planned. So, oops. But yeah, if you like this video, please like it. Leave a comment on what you thought about my shoes. I would love to know your opinion. And subscribe. That would also mean a lot to me. And I will certainly have a video online soon. I have some ideas that I'm very excited about, also very nervous about for some reason.